Hey, what is going on? It is Friday, it's 12 noon Eastern Time, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Charisma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, to help you mastermind or grow your real estate business. And what we're talking about today is your plan for the next 2 months we've got in 2019. It's November 1st today, a little bit of a chill in the air. You know, retailers, they've already been thinking about Christmas for like the past 2 or 3 months because they're getting ready to end the year strong. What are you doing in your real estate business to end the year strong, to set up your 2020 for success? You know, as the new year comes, people start thinking about New Year's resolutions. Don't wait until 2020 to put something new into effect, to put something into motion, to start making things better. Start making these last 2 months. You still got like 60 days in 2019. It's a huge amount of time that you've got to push through this and really double down. We've got like 20% of the year left still in these 2 months. If my math is right, I don't know. We'll double check that when we go on the break. I'm John Charisma. The show is brought to you by Tampa School of Real Estate. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. So look, official math, we got about 17% of 2019 left. 2019 isn't over yet. There's still 2 months to go. There's still a lot of time you've got to get business happening. And if 2019 isn't something you've been proud of yet, make yourself proud of it. With these last 2 months, you've got the time. You can put this into motion, whatever it is that you're doing. We're going to focus on the real estate side of things today because this is State of Real Estate. And what if you just closed one more transaction than you were planning? What if you figured that, you're at right now, let's say that you're right now, let's put you in this boat, that you're right here, sitting here on November 1st, and you don't have anything pending. You don't have any deals pending closing. You don't have anything where if you just stayed on autopilot from here until the end of the year, you don't get paid. And we don't want that. You don't want that. And even if you do have some deals in the hopper, if you've got some contacts it is that you're working with, what are you going to do to stack more on top of this, to get more? So that way, in case 1 or 2 of these deals fall through, because look, deals are going to fall through. You're going to have clients that are going to go spend money on a credit card on Christmas presents when they're not supposed to do that because that's going to mess up all their qualifying ratios, and all of a sudden it's a whole thing of whether or not they're going to be able to be approved for the loan. You've got all these retailers that are out there that are going to be pounding on them for Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, Christmas sales, holiday sales, whatever the case may be. People are going to be preoccupied with their families. Maybe you've got that person right now that wants their Christmas present to be a new home. How do we get in real estate on this holiday madness that goes on these last 2 months out of the year? And there's a lot of things it is you could do to make your business timely for what it is that you're doing to really reach people. Because everyone's going to be going through Thanksgiving, everybody's going to be going through holidays, so this creates a great opportunity for you to reach out to people and really be setting up your 2020 for success. A lot of great opportunities that you have to market your business. So, maybe you've got, we've got these 2 major holidays coming up, Thanksgiving in November, and Christmas, and Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and Boxing Day in Canada, and all that other stuff going on in December. You've got New Year's coming up. So these are all kinds of great opportunities to leverage these holidays as a way to make sure your potential prospects don't forget about you, that they know who you are, what you do, and that you can help them with real estate. So how do you leverage this? How do you leverage this and really start to set up your 2020? Because if you wait until 2020 to make your 2020 successful, you're going to come with a slow start. You want to have the ball already rolling You want to have things already in motion so that 2020 hits and it's just another day. It's just another day and you're keeping pushing forward, rolling that rock up the hill. So again, you've got a lot of opportunities to market based on all of these holidays. And this could be something like an email to your email list. If you've got an email list, if you've got a list of emails, you should be sending them emails for all of these holidays. What are you doing with these emails if you're not? So hit your email list. Then on the phone, touch base with these people. Maybe you've got a past client. So maybe right now you're sitting in a position where you don't have as much business as you want, but you've done real estate business before. That you've helped people buy and sell real estate, but maybe you've lost touch with them a little bit. And you know, it happens. I've done it before. I'm not perfect. It happens. Pick up the phone though. Give them a call. Hey, I was just thinking about you guys the other day. Wanted to give you a call, just see how you're doing. Got any big plans for Thanksgiving? Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. Yeah. And as we get closer into these holiday times, we could leverage these as an occasion. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a call, see how you'd been, how you're doing, how 2019's been for you. Yeah, things been great for me. Speaking of which, I know you guys are still probably happy with your new home, but who do you know that needs to buy or sell real estate? And you're not always going to get people that are willing to give you a referral, especially if you've already lost touch with them. But you're not going to know until you try. They could say, well, you know what? Actually, just earlier this week, I was talking to so-and-so at my office who said they wanted to buy a home that they've been renting, and I've been telling them they need to buy. People have these conversations every day, even when they're not in real estate. We need to make sure we're the name they bring up, though, when they talk to them. Say, oh, you got to talk to my friend John. He helped me buy our house, and, he does a great job. He's super knowledgeable. He'll get everything taken care of for you. Here's his phone number. Give him a call. That's what you want. You want to have all of your past clients really being your army of people that are just out there preaching who you are and what you stand for and how you could help others. You get to that point where you get like a loyal following of your fans, for lack of a better term. That's really what you want to cultivate with your clients and your prospects and your leads, is you want them to believe in you. That's ultimately your goal, is to get them to believe with you. It's not just to sell them a house. Yeah, that's how we get paid up front, but then how do we get paid again with them? Well, if they don't believe in us, they're probably not going to use us again. If they don't believe in us, they're not going to refer us to their friends and family. So you need to get buy-in. You need to get them to believe in you, to believe that there's no other realtor in the world who's better than you. That's what you need to get them to buy in on. And if you lose touch with them, if you get out of communication with them, they're not going to think that. They're not going to have those beliefs. So, again, at the very least, email. And then some of these people you might have emails for, maybe you've never talked to them because all you have is their email. That's okay. Keep leading into that email. Keep sending them messages. Let them unsubscribe. Let them unsubscribe from your email list. That's the one sure way you know that, okay, I guess they're not interested, is that they unsubscribe from your messages. Don't just fall victim to the whole thing of, oh, well, maybe I'll just send like one email a month so that way they don't unsubscribe from me. No. Send them emails all the time. Let them unsubscribe, because the people that continue to receive your emails and continue to open your emails, those are the people that you want. And maybe they do unsubscribe from you. Here's a little trick you could use. When they unsubscribe from you, you could send one of those confirmation emails that, oh, thanks, you've got unsubscribed. You won't receive any other emails from us. It's like, I guess email isn't your thing. Here, follow me on this social. Follow me on that social. Check out my YouTube. Check out my Facebook. Check out my Instagram. Check out my Twitter. Because, maybe email is their sacred space and they don't want to get your marketing in their emails. That's okay. Let them unsubscribe. But then have that pivot there. Say, hey, I get it if you don't want me in your emails. I know I send a lot of emails, but maybe you'd prefer to follow me on one of these social media channels. And for the people, again, not everyone's going to want to do that. Some people are like, oh, I'm so sick of this guy, I never want to hear from this guy again. Maybe that'll happen. But what you want to get is the people that are getting buy-in to you, the people that believe in you. And those people, they might end up unsubscribing again if maybe you're sending them too many emails, but then you could push them off to your other social platforms. And, maybe this is somebody that you're not going to pick up the phone and call them, but maybe, you just use a text. That's another way you have to stay in communication with them. Emails, phone calls, social medias, text messages, letters and postcards. These are great ways that you can get in communication with people you've never been in communication with before. If you're maybe farming a particular neighborhood, you could send out a postcard of holiday entertaining tips from your friendly neighborhood realtor. Or there's so many little creative things. You go on these websites that, and that's one of the great things about real estate, is that, there are all these businesses that are there to make money off of us, but they help make our job easier. They help make our job easier because there are businesses out there that will design all these postcards for you. All you got to do is order them. And it's going to be more expensive than if you were to design the postcard yourself. But let me ask you this. What is the best use of your time? You've got 2 months left in 2019. 60 days? We'll have to get an official count of the days left that we've got in 2019 here. It's probably 60 days, maybe 61 days, maybe 62 days. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you've got this many days left. You need to use that time in the best possible way. Imagine that these next 2 months were all the time you had left altogether, for your business at least. That after December 31st of 2020, that you wouldn't be able to practice real estate anymore. What would you be doing during these 2 months to squeeze out as much business as you can during these 2 months? Ask yourself that question. What is going to get you the most business today? During these next 60 days? What's going to result in the most amount of closing during this time? So that way, you've already got the train running full speed ahead out of the station. And look, don't fall victim to maybe some of the other agents in your office you might see catch this sickness in December of the whole, real estate market's slowing down. You don't want to catch that disease. It's everybody's busy with holidays and, December's a slow time. No, December's actually the number 2 busiest closing month out of the year behind June. June is the busiest closing month out of the year. The second busiest is December. So there's still plenty of business to be had. Don't catch that disease. It's contagious. You might already see some agents in your office maybe starting to check out, say, it's the end of the year, and they're planning their Thanksgiving, they're planning their Christmas, they're maybe saying, when spring rolls around, I'm gonna, maybe send out a mailing, see if I can pick up some listings. You've got to say, okay, well, let's take that, let's speed that up to now. Let's start sending the mailers now to these neighborhoods it is that you want to farm. So by time February, March rolls around, that they've already gotten these mailers from you 3, 4, 5 times. That you hit them with a happy Thanksgiving postcard, a tips for entertaining over the holidays, a happy New Year's, a New Year resolution. Again, all these things that are timely that cause people to connect a little bit more to your marketing and advertising and your messaging. And look, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Go out there, Google one of these, Google real estate postcards. If you Google real estate postcards, you'll find, matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's just Google real estate postcards and see what comes up. You're going to find, look, this is literally that easy. So real estate postcards, here's a ad right at the top, and they're paying money to be in this ad space right at the top. Effortless postcard campaign, reach your entire market now. I bet you this is going to make it easy. So let's click on it and let's see what happens here. So, all right, it's a crazy ad. Let's get out of there. They're trying to get us to do something. Let's go down to Vistaprint right here. Let's see what Vistaprint's got for templates. Vistaprint, you probably heard of that before. So look at this. You've got free market analysis, a little snowy looking house here, all kinds of stuff. Look, Vistaprint. This is probably the most well-known name in postcards. You could get something like this. I don't know if Vistaprint has mailing services. I've never used Vistaprint for mailing, but I'm sure that they might have some sort of mailing service where you could upload a list for them. But there are even companies out there where you don't even have to go get the list. They've got the list already of homes in the neighborhood. And yes, you're going to be paying a premium to have them do all this work for you. But now the question is it the best use of your time to be labeling postcards or labeling letters or putting stamps on things. And look, if you're first starting out, if you're just starting out, I get it. You might have limited capital to start out with. You might not have any business that is currently able to pay for any of these more sophisticated advertising where somebody is doing it for you. So look, I totally understand the struggle and the grind of having to do these things yourself, but you want to run from that as fast as you can. Power through it, do it, get it done as quickly as possible, but get results as quickly as possible. So that way you don't have to continue spending your time on these mundane tasks that you could easily offload that to somebody else. Because as you become more successful, what you're going to find out is it's not money. There's an infinite amount of money you could go out there and get between now and the end of the year. But you know what is not infinite, what is very finite and getting shorter and less by the second is the amount of time we have left in 2019. The amount of time we've got in 2019, the amount of time that you have in your entire life, that is what's finite. And look, again, when you're starting out, you might not have the capital to be able to invest in these types of things, to where the done-for-you advertising campaigns. But you want to get to that point as quickly as possible because that's usually not going to be the best use of your time, especially if it is something as simple as just putting stamps on like postcards or something like that. You know what, you want to go teach your kids a good lesson? This is what I grew up with doing. I grew up stamping envelopes and postcards. My dad would have me go and stamp little envelopes to say, hey, we're doing a mailing here. I'll give you 10 cents for every one of these that you stamp, or a nickel for every one. I can't remember what it was that I was getting paid for. That was basically nothing. But, me being like 10, 11 years old, I was like, oh, wow, 10 cents. If I do like 100 of these, that's like $10. Oh, man, I'll be rich. So use your kids. Take advantage of them. You got these kids. Go put them to work. Go teach them some good work ethic there. And you could do that. You don't have kids, you got to do it yourself then. You've got to do that yourself. But again, power through that so that way you can continue to expand your business. You want to focus on getting more and more expansion. You never want your business to be contracting. Even if the market is contracting, even if there is a slight drop, I won't argue with that. There usually is maybe a slight drop of the overall activity. It's not a drop in closings because, again, December is the busiest closing month out of the year, but maybe people aren't as interested in looking at real estate because they're more preoccupied with the holidays. So I'd agree there, but just because the market might contract a little bit doesn't necessarily mean that you need to shut your business down. We're in Florida. It's not like we've got snow that we've got to shovel through to get into one of these houses. There's nobody out plowing the streets for us to be able to show a house. We've got, what is it? It's 77 degrees outside. It's not getting much colder. It's going to be pretty warm. So we still have business. And you know what you've got in Florida right now? You've got the snowbirds. They're migrating down here. And I don't mean flying through the air. I mean, people from other parts of the country coming down here in their retirement. And, maybe where they're at right here, they're just renting right now. Maybe they're just renting a place. Or maybe they're just down here visiting, but they do want to become a snowbird. Maybe they do want to buy into property here. Take advantage of all the people that are influxing into Florida right now. And how can you reach them? Answer yourself that question. Again, if you don't know them, that might be a letter or a postcard. Maybe you're sending that to some sort of community. I don't know, maybe you're setting up at the beach. This is where you can get really creative to see what it is that you could take advantage of. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're gonna love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christopher. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday, 12 noon Eastern time, to help you mastermind to grow your real estate business, to build the most successful real estate business. That's how we succeed at the Tampa School of Real Estate, is by helping you succeed. Your success is our success. So that's why we're here every Friday. That's what we do this. We're not doing this for me. It's not because I like to hear myself speak. It's not because I like the way I look on camera. It's because we want to help you. We want to help you become more successful. And that's why, even when we're like, oh, what are we going to talk about today? Are people going to get value from this? That we go power through this and we go put this out there because we know that we're going to be reaching some of you guys out there, and that this video is exactly what you need to hear right now, especially if you're down. Let's see, how many days do we have left? Can you guys Google that? How many days we have left in 2019? I want to know the exact number of days it is that we have here. I think it's got to be like 60 or 61 or something like that. 61. We've got 61 days left. 61 days left. After today, 60 days left. And that countdown is going to be counting down until 2019 is over with and gone forever. So you don't want to be heading into 2020 with regrets about your 2019, because that's not a good foundation to stand on going into 2020. Is, oh, well, 2019 wasn't that great. Let's see if 2020 is any better. That's not the attitude it is that you want to go into the new year with. You want to go into the new year knowing that you finished 2019 strong, that you finished at the top of your game, that these last 2 months were the best months that you had in 2019. And so you're heading into 2020 with your chest out, your shoulders back, your head high, feeling good about your business, about your life, about the direction of both of these, that you know that you're in a state of expansion, not in contraction. Those are the two that you have. You have expansion and contraction. Now, if you feel like you're maintaining, I've got bad news for you. If you feel like you're maintaining, you're not maintaining. You're slowly contracting. You might be quickly contracting, and that's obvious when you're heading downhill. But if you feel like you're maintaining, you're not. You're slowly contracting. What's going to happen is you start contracting at a faster rate, even if you feel like you're maintaining. Whereas if you're constantly expanding, maybe your expansion slows a little bit at times, but if you constantly continue to push further and further and further into expansion, into expanding with more clients, maybe new areas that you're targeting, that you're farming, that you're advertising and marketing to. We talked about, sending a letter or a postcard, and we talked many times on this show about a farm area and how important it is to have a good farm area where you're focusing your marketing efforts. But in order to do this effectively, you want to make sure that you can plan for a year's worth of contact, that you're contacting them at least once a month. Now, again, you want to speed up this process, be more frequent, increase the frequency. Make sure that they're not just seeing you just on letters and postcards, but maybe social advertising. Look, all it costs is money to show up in people's Facebook feed, to show up in whoever's it is that you want Instagram feeds or their YouTube right before they go to watch a video. And you could handpick the type of person it is that you want to advertise to, where they're located, all kinds of crazy criteria you could get into in these ad platforms to make sure that these people are the ones that are seeing your content. And you can match that right up with your physical farm area. If you're farming a particular neighborhood, you go right into these social advertising platforms, drop a pin, put a radius in there of 1 mile, 2 miles, 5 miles. You're probably, again, if you have a small farm area, probably just want to stick to that mile and just focusing on that area here. And you want to develop omnipresence in that area. So everywhere these people go, they go online, they go in their mailbox, they go in their email, wherever it is that they go, they're seeing you. And they know that you're the real estate expert. And they see that, oh, wow, there's nobody better at real estate than John Christopher or whoever you are. But that might just be in your little bubble that is your farm area. Maybe 100 homes, maybe 200 homes, maybe 500 homes. And what you want to do ultimately is not only saturate that farm area, but once you've got saturation in that farm area and you're getting business from that farm area, you duplicate what it is that you've been doing in a new area, in a new farm area. You don't walk away from what it is you're doing. You continue to maintain that, but now you're in that state of expansion, of constant expansion. So now you're targeting a new farm area, and you just slowly start scooping up these new markets as you continue to expand and push into your business, never walking away from what you've been doing. If you get too many leads that you don't know what to do with those leads, that's a good problem to have. Maybe it's time that you start recruiting some other agents to be part of your team. If you've got more leads, you know what to do with. There's so many new agents that don't know how to find leads, that can't find leads, that haven't mastered that haven't mastered the art of prospecting, of lead generation, of advertising. And there's agents out there that are hungry for that business. You need to find them, recruit them in, and now you could feed them those leads and really build out something even bigger than yourself. Again, even more of a constant state of expansion. And that's really, I would say, the theme of today's show. That, it looks like 2019 is just about to be a wrap. That's one way you could look at it here. It's like, oh, here we are in November. Here comes the holidays. Here comes Thanksgiving. We've got all this, coming up here. We had a good run in 2019. No, you didn't. You're not done. You haven't crossed the finish line. The finish line is midnight on December 31st. You might be able to see the finish line, but you're not there yet. Are you going to walk to that finish line, or are you going to sprint through that finish line, continue running into 2020? And again, set up your 2020 for success. That's really what it is that you want to be doing right now. You're going to be doing things that are working towards you hitting the ground running come January 1st of 2020, as well as, let's continue to lean on what we can do right now in 2019 during these last 61 days it is that we have. So look, that's about all the time it is that we've got for today. So look, focus on what you could do now to get more deals closed in 2019. If you've got a buyer that's maybe been on the fence, it's like, hey, let's go out today. There's a couple more homes it is that I wanted to show you. Let's go take a look at them. What's going to happen as you show them more homes? They're probably going to get more confused unless you're also backing that up with, hey, which of these homes do you like? Which of these do you think you can see yourself living in them? None of them? Well, why is that? What is missing? And again, you're asking these tough, difficult questions. And look, nobody has to buy what it is that we're selling. We're not forcing anybody to sign a contract. We're not forcing anybody to buy just this house because that's all we could sell. No, we broker deals and we bring together buyers and sellers from whatever properties it is that they're coming from. So we could show them any properties. So we're here to reassure them, but sometimes we've got to be a little bit more aggressive to make sure that they're comfortable. Our little bit of aggressiveness sometimes in this sales type of role. And it's not aggressive of, oh yeah, you need to buy this house because that's the only one I could sell you. We're not like used car salesperson where we've got a lot of just a couple of cars. We're brokers. They could broker deals with any transactions, with any properties. Any property it is they want to buy. They want to buy new construction? Great, let's go look at some new construction. They want to go buy a 2-story home in Hyde Park? Yeah, let's go look at one. Let's go find one. Here it is. And if that's not right for them, let's dig deeper into what is it that's not right about this property. What is it that this property is missing? And if I found you a property that had the swimming pool in it, that was just like this property, but it had a swimming pool, would that be the perfect property? Or is there still something else that it's missing? And they say, we'd like to have a bigger kitchen too. Okay, well, let's say we could only get one of those, the bigger pool or the bigger kitchen. Which one's more important for you? Say, we can't have both. Well, let's just hypothetically say you had to choose. Which one would you choose? Would you choose the bigger kitchen or would you choose the swimming pool? And then what's going to happen is they're going to think about it. They say, we could always add the swimming pool. It would be a lot more difficult probably to make the kitchen bigger. So you know what? Let's say the kitchen. And now what just happened is you help them prioritize what's important. But you're not going to do that unless you do have that little bit, and maybe aggressive isn't the best word for it, but you've got to ask tough questions. And that could it might come across like you're being aggressive, but as you start to help them become in better touch and a better understanding of what property is perfect for them, and again, that tough question of, what are the things it is that you're looking for? And if you had to choose, and they say, what, can't I get both? Yeah, no, we'll definitely see if we could find that, but let's say we couldn't, hypothetically, which one would you pick? Would you pick the bigger kitchen or would you pick the swimming pool? And then they're going to think about it. And this is something they probably haven't done because they probably just assumed they'd be able to get a property that's got a swimming pool and the perfect dream kitchen. And by us saying, hey, between those two things, which one's more important? Which one could you live without? Which one is the lower priority? They're thinking about that, and they probably didn't think about that before, but they wouldn't think about that unless we push them into thinking about that and thinking about which one is ultimately more important. And if you've ever been frustrated with a buyer that you feel like this buyer says nothing's good enough, that will help them hone in on what actually is best for them. Asking those tough questions and getting them to really think about it, because again, chances are they haven't. What you got to remember is you are the professional. They are not the professional. So you've got to be the professional. You've got to, again, ask these tough questions they're probably not even asking themselves, because they're just assuming that they could have it all. So again, we put in that position, hypothetically speaking, let's say we can't get the swimming pool and the big kitchen in this price point. Which one would it be? Would you rather have the swimming pool? Would you rather have the kitchen? Or would you rather increase the budget? Maybe they're already maxed out what they're pre-approved for, so it's okay. Would you rather have the swimming pool or would you rather have the kitchen? Which one would it be? Just pick one. If you had to pick, what would it be? And again, get an answer. Never ask a question that you don't get an answer to. If you're asking a question but you don't get the answer to your question, like a real answer to your question, not just some sort of politician answer where, it just sounds good but it doesn't really answer the question. If you don't get a real answer to your question, you're wasting your time asking that question. So make sure you always get an answer to every question it is that you ever ask. So look, I know we talked about a lot today, but look, you've got 61 days left. There's still a ton of time left. 17% of 2019 is still on the table. It's still up for grabs. There's still tons of business out there to be had. December is the second busiest closing month out of the year behind June. So go get some closings. Keep pushing up that statistic. Be part of that statistic. Be part of that statistic why December is the second busiest closing month. You could do it. Get out there, find some business. And again, you're going to be doing two things, because not everybody's going to need your business today, but that's where you're also going to be setting yourself up to have an amazing, rock-solid 2020. You don't want to be like the average agent that's going to say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to, kind of coast through these last 2 months, and then 2020 comes around, then I'll maybe start getting back on it. No, you want to be getting on it right now, leaning into it, being the above average agent, so that way 2020 rolls around, you've already had a couple deals closed that you didn't think were going to happen, and your 2020 is going to be set up for success. It's not going to just be 2020, it's going to be 2020 because it's so great. Anyways, look, that's all the time we've got for today, so thank you guys for tuning in. If you've got questions about getting your real estate license, post-licensing, continuing education, or anything like that, call us at 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that they can. Let us help you. Your success is our success. Call us 813-333-2676. It's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida Real Estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.